thinking in terms of maintaining the family history. First of all, when they named me by including Crosswhite in my name, so when I tell people I'm Victor Crosswhite Contreras, it kind of stimulates a little conversation. Whether they're familiar with the name Crosswhite or not, at least it gives me a chance to introduce it and talk about the family history. But also, as a part of growing up, my parents were very much involved, in particular my mother, in teaching us the family history and the family stories and the culture. And it enabled me, it armed me with a significant number of tools. One of the realities is we live in a border town that has been influenced hugely from its very inception by the influx of different people. And that has created both a meshing and a clashing of cultures that's alive today. Within my personal experience, I've had things like being called wetback and border bandit and things like that. And I can turn around and look at the person straight in the eyes and go, wait a minute, I can document my family in this town before your family came across to this continent. I'm the wetback?
Yeah.
You know? It's like, let's rethink this. And it armed me because of that education and that background in history, it armed me with a lot of pride, a lot of knowledge, a lot of information. I could deal with things such as racism, things such as cultural issues, things such as respect for other people, of acknowledging the diversity of cultures and acknowledging that different cultures do have a place and have a position of respect that should be included, and that our past does make an influence and it's reflective of what our futures will be. And all of those lessons were intrinsically involved or taught through the history of my family, and recognizing that wherever I go, I'm a representative of that culture, of that experience. They would always say to me, "Estás representando la familia." Wherever you go, representing your family, you have a civic obligation. Our family was very much involved in developing this area, this region, this city. And so that as a precept, before I even walk out the door, that those things are true and will stay true when I go out into the community. It certainly gave birth to the reason why I did get involved in OAPAD, and why I am proud of my heritage, and why I'm proud and I think it's extremely important to keep all the history alive, keep it in the memory of us, and to be able to teach it to others, so that they can grow to appreciate the significance not only of this wonderful city that we claim to be the finest city in the United States. Well, okay, it has a wonderful climate, a wonderful thing, but it has a whole lot to teach us as to how to be as human beings, and to incorporate the new with the old, and mescle it into something yet different than and correct people with information, and that our common correct information, our common correct history gives us a foundation that we can grow from, not misunderstandings, not misinformation, but the correct history, as ugly and as beautiful as it is, that has lessons for us. And I think that is where we should come from, not to cover it up, not to make it into something different, not to create something that is not, but from the realities of what has happened, both painful and joyful, as to where we're going to go and create a future. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share and to talk a little bit about it, and hopefully it arms us to correct things. As a matter of fact, there were a number of different things that took place at the conference in a very simple way. I had one gentleman talk to me about the hats that the Californianos wore, and asked me, when did we change from those hats to sombreros? We never wore sombreros here. We never did zarapes. That was not the California. It's a Mexican experience, but it's not a California experience. That wasn't our history. And to be able to correct little things like that, because there are huge misinterpretations, not only on the English-speaking side, but the Spanish-speaking side, the Kumeyaay-speaking side, the French-speaking side, all have their slants. there's a story I like to tell, and it's kind of true as far as taking that and bringing it over here. There were 3 blind men that were arguing about what an elephant was. And they said, well, we've never experienced an elephant. Well, let's take an excursion to the zoo. And they got special arrangements to go to the zoo, and the zookeeper took them into the elephant yard and stuff like that so they could experience an elephant. And so the one blind man reached out and he touched the trunk. He goes, oh my God, that's what an elephant is. Now I know what an elephant is. And the other one was, of course, a little bit further down, and he reached out and hit the elephant in the belly. He goes, oh my God, that's what an elephant is. It's solid, it's huge. And the other one, a little bit further down, he reached out and he grabbed the tail of the elephant. Okay, this is what an elephant, now I know what an elephant is. They were all 100% sure. They knew. They had first-hand experience, literally, first-hand experience by reaching out and touching what an elephant is. So they were sure. They got back and argued at length. An elephant is like a hose, like a huge hose. It's flexible, it moves. You're crazy. An elephant is like a wall. It's solid, it's huge. And the other guy goes, you're crazy as hell. An elephant is like a rope. They were all right, yet they were all wrong. It's the totality of all perspectives that gives us a full vision of what an elephant is. It's a perspective of all cultures and all people that experienced, that were part of the history, in its totality that gives us the correct picture. Not one part of it, not this part of it, not that part of it, because they're all limited unless we take them in its totality. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much for being here, for being part of this conference, for helping put it on, for coming and making it rewarding for us to have put it on, because we're just entertaining ourselves, you didn't come and enjoy it with us. So, hopefully you will come next year, the 1st, which is November 5th, 2011, we'll have, we hope at the same place, the 5th Golden year, the Early San Diego Regional History Conference. Thank you again. Please be part of our group next time.
Yeah, one thing I just want to add real quickly is, if you haven't seen the Women's History exhibit we have inside here, I'm going to go around and open it up for those of you who want to see the exhibit. We're being given an opportunity, because we're closing, I think, at 5. I don't know what time it is, but I'll open it right now. Huh?
4:10.
Yeah.